Alright, what's going on, guys? Yes, we're on the project back at it again in here for another video for you guys for today. I'm basically going to be talking about the pay-per-views that have been happening recently up into somewhere into Crown Jewel, and I've been actually missing doing, the predictions and the reviews and stuff like that, and I didn't get to the last time because we had the hurricane around Hell in the Cell time, and just a lot of shit was happening, so that's why I'm going to actually continue things off from where I last didn't really get to talk about. So the last pay-per-view I really talked about was SummerSlam, and now we got what happened with Hell in the Cell and everything, and just by watching that, and it was basically more of my relief and everything, and just with everything going on, just watching that helped me out a lot. And what we did have, getting right down into it, and with the first match, and I got the tablet right here for that, where we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between New Day and Rusev Day, and that was on the kickoff at the time, and the New Day were able to get their win. So we had that. The whole thing with Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy, from what I remember, was pretty crazy. Especially, I remember that spot Jeff Hardy did on top of the sun, that literally on the top, but like hanging from the top and swinging around and stuff. That was insane, and Randy Orton getting the win. So that was a pretty crazy match, and those two, don't really seem to disappoint and have the chemistry going for them and continue their feud ever since, like, what, 2008. I actually got to see the feud for the first time at that time, so that was pretty crazy. We had the SmackDown Women's Championship match, and the first match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair happened at SummerSlam, and now we had the second match going to Hell in a Cell, and it was really cool and nice surprise having Becky Lynch finally become the women's champion, and I've been liking it ever since, so she's got a good thing going for her, and I'm happy about that. I hope she continues her run, and we'll get to that a little bit more later on as we get into the other reviews. Also, where we had the Raw Tag Team Championship match at the time, where we had Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre taking on Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose and everything. And also where we had Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre actually get the win to continue their run for a little while longer. Also where we had the feud continuing between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, where I was hoping actually Samoa Joe would get the title, but that wasn't the case, and AJ actually retaining and keeping this title. Where we had the mixed tag match, which I'm happy with getting to see those a lot more. I've been seeing a bit of mixed match challenge lately, and it seems like more of a fun show, and it's more laid back, if you will. So they get to do like random shit all the time, and it gets actually pretty funny at times. Some of it's a little stupid, but other times, it is pretty funny. But this one, we had The Miz and Maurice taking out Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella. Of course, surprisingly, The Miz and Maurice were able to get their win, which was pretty crazy. You think Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella would get the win, but hey, it is what it is. Also, where we had Ronda Rousey and Alexa Bliss. Of course, Ronda Rousey keeping her title and continuing things, which I like, and it's pretty cool seeing her as Raw Women's Champion. I like that, and I like where things are going with her as well. Also, where we had Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman continue things, and it basically ending in a no contest, which was weird at the time, seeing that. Of course, Brock Lesnar breaking through the cell and everything, so it's just really weird how that happened. And I know Roman Reigns now is basically dealing with leukemia. I saw that most recently. It's pretty crazy. It sucks that it happened out of nowhere, literally, so hoping for the best for him and everything. So hopefully things will get better, and that was Hell in a Cell in a nutshell, if you will. So pretty briefly on that. From what I remember, I didn't mind the show really that much at all, especially for a gimmick pay-per-view. So there you have it with that, and continue on with the other ones. Alright, so then we had Super Showdown, basically a network special from Australia, and I liked how they had the different setup with the stage and everything, almost like a live house show type of feel, but also at the same time a network special. And with this, when we had the New Day in the bar, going at it and everything. And of course, the New Day were able to keep their tag team titles. Charlotte and Becky continued their stuff and everything, and with Charlotte Flair defeating Becky Lynch via disqualification and everything, which was unfortunate that had to happen, but it is what it is. Where we had also the tag match with John Cena returning and looking at his rumored new move and everything, basically like a weird karate chop. Thinking he's some sort of karate master or something, taking out Bobby Lashley and defeating Elias and Kevin Owens. And you know, could have expected a lot more out of this, but hey, it is what it is. Then we had the Iconics being home, which is really cool. I like seeing that, taking on Asuka and Naomi, and of course the Iconics got the win, and a very rare win in the hometown, so that's really nice and dope, can't go wrong. And it was indeed iconic, pun intended. And we had the WWE Championship match between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, continuing things. Of course, we had the no disqualification, no count-out thing, where AJ Styles actually still, of course, is still the champion. Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins and the Riot Squad basically having, you know, getting ready for the next upcoming pay-per-view and stuff like that. And Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins getting the win, and that's what I thought they were going to have that heel turn then, but it didn't happen, obviously. So there's that. The Cruiserweight title match between Buddy Murphy and Cedric Alexander. And I gave it to Cedric Alexander having a hell of a run as Cruiserweight champion, and Buddy Murphy getting the win was actually cool to see. So I'm curious what more we're going to get to see out of him now he's the Cruiserweight champion. Then we had the Shield and Braun Strowman and Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre in their tag match, and of course the Shield were able to get the win. Daniel Bryan and The Miz, of course Daniel Bryan was able to actually get the win and be able to face AJ Styles, which actually happened on SmackDown with the whole thing with Crowd Drew and the whole controversy. I'm sure most of you know by now, so I don't think I have to really explain that. And then we have Triple H, and of course with Shawn Michaels taking on The Undertaker with Kane, and whole things setting up for Crown Jewel, which as of this recording is today on Friday and everything. So you know, it was, you know, fine seeing it, but it was something I've never really seen before, and I wasn't really looking too much forward to it. But with the tag match, it could be pretty interesting. So that's pretty much it when it came to Super Showdown, and you know, pretty good overall at best, if you ask me, for Super Showdown. So those are my thoughts there overall in a nutshell. Alright, so then we get into most recently with WWE Evolution, the all-women's pay-per-view. And I gotta say, it was actually, watching it was actually a fun show, less filler, more about the wrestling, less bullshit, and it kind of had that NXT type of vibe with the NXT TakeOver type of vibe to it. And where we had things getting right down into it, where we had Trish and Lita taking on Mickie James and Alicia Fox. Of course, Alexa Bliss was supposed to be in action, but she was there as a manager due to injury that changed things. And I'm happy we saw the Trish and Mickie moment, and we saw basically a little bit of everything out of everybody, and Trish and Lita actually getting the win, which is really cool. Seeing them in action more often, which is nice. So I'm curious what else they're going to be doing lately and everything. I know they were on Raw recently and had basically a Big 10 women tag team match, so I'm hearing that they might be doing some more stuff here and there, part-time type of deal. So we'll see how that goes and everything. We had the Battle Royal to determine who would be the next person to be a #1 contender, where we had all of the following with Selena Vega, Naomi, Sonya Deville, Michelle McCool, Alundra Brilliance, Carmella, Kelly returning, Tamina, Ember Moon, Lana, Maria Kanellis, Mandy Rose, Molly Holly, Dana Brooke, Nia Jax, Ivory, Asuka, Tori Wilson coming back, Payne and Billy, of course, from the Iconics and everything. And what I thought, Ember Moon was gonna get the win. Nia Jax, it was kind of weird, so she's gonna look to face possibly, most likely at some point, Ronda Rousey, probably at TLC, since I know Survivor Series has the SmackDown vs. Raw matchup and everything now with Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch, which that's gonna be dope to see. Also, when we had the Mae Young Classic here, Toni Storm and Io Shirai. This was a really fun match. I really enjoyed it, and congrats to Toni Storm actually winning the Mae Young Classic. It's been a hell of 8 weeks, and the matches that they have been having there, very enjoyable. So I do enjoy the Mae Young Classic. The next match where we had, of course, the Riot Squad, Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Bayley over there having their match and everything, and dealing with that. Of course, Bayley and her team with Natalya and Sasha Banks were able to get the win over the Riot Squad. And also in the return match between Shayna Baszler and, of course, Kairi Sane. And the interesting twist, we had the rest of the 4 horsewomen of the UFC actually helping out Shayna Baszler get the NXT Women's Championship. So I'm curious where that's going to go. So that should be pretty interesting to see how things turn about. And the next match, yes, the last woman standing, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. One of my favorite matches, of course, Becky Lynch getting the win. So basically, we saw the chairs and all that stuff, the ladder spot. Really cool stuff between the two, and it's pretty cool how things turned about there. So definitely one of my favorite matches. Then, which was kind of weird, that was the main event. I was hoping the SmackDown title match would be the main event, but it was the Raw Women's title. Of course, Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella, and at least Ronda Rousey was able to get the win and everything, so that's fine, can't go wrong there. And basically now getting into Crown Jewel, I'll basically talk about it briefly, predictions, but Evolution as a whole, really enjoyable so far. Definitely, actually one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year, quite possibly, if I do say so myself. Then we get into, of course, Crown Jewel, which as of this recording is today. I still can't believe they went to Saudi Arabia still with the whole controversy, scandal, if you will, if you want to put it that way. It's just insane. They should have went to Manchester, England instead, since they'll be there in the upcoming week, but hey, that's what they want to do. That's up to them. But anyway, getting into predictions and everything and what have you. Where we had the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Bar and the New Day. I feel like the New Day don't really need a tag team title, so I'm going to go with the Bar with this one and actually retain their tag team titles. Then we have the WWE World Cup to basically determine who is going to be the best in the world in this one. Kind of like a TNA type of style thing, if you want to put it that way a little bit. Where we have the Raw bracket, we have Kurt Angle, Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley as a replacement from John Cena. We have SmackDown bracket on their side. We have Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, and The Miz. I basically have 2 picks. Kurt Angle is one of them, and Seth Rollins. If I had to go for SmackDown, probably Rey Mysterio or Jeff Hardy in that one, as in my picks right now. WWE Championship matchup, AJ Styles will now face Daniel Bryan, since on SmackDown that did happen, so now it's going to be Samoa Joe, actually I should say, as a replacement, so at least that makes sense. So I want Samoa Joe to win, but I think AJ Styles is going to be able to be getting his win and retain his title. That's what I see happening. Universal Championship match between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Of course, Roman Reigns dealing with leukemia right now, so he's basically getting better and trying to work on that more, and trying to focus on that. So he was supposed to be in a triple threat, so now it's a singles match, and hopefully Brock Lesnar does not win, and hopefully Braun Strowman will get the win. That's just what I'm hoping for anyway, so my main pick is Braun Strowman, but I guess it wouldn't really surprise me if Brock Lesnar somehow gets the win, even though he doesn't really need it. Then we have D-Generation X and the Brothers of Destruction. Kind of a tough pick, since I like both teams on this one, so I don't know, kind of am leaning towards more D-Generation X somehow, some way, and we'll see where things go on that. I want to see more of the Brothers of Destruction get the win, but I'm kind of leaning more towards DX, so it's up in the air at this point, so we'll see where things go. I probably won't get to watch it literally live, but probably a little after. So we'll have to wait and see where things are going to be going when it comes to all of that. And that basically does it for this video. And what are your thoughts on the most recent pay-per-views up until Crown Jewel, and what are your picks and predictions, all that in between? And of course, this has been 4-Minute Project, and I'll catch you guys, as always, in the next video, whenever the hell the next video may be. Until then, I'll catch you guys then. See ya. Peace.